So a week ago, I had asked you to ask me some questions and I would answer them. So this is that video. There is going to be a link or a list of all the questions in the description, along with a link to the timestamp they're at, so you can skip to any particular question. And with that, let's get started then. I bet you're going to like this channel. These are also bike lovers, and they have a good collection of bikes. Kaplan New in the Motorcycle Museum. Yeah, I've watched his channel. He also recently had a Maicos 490, 83, and he said that the only bike he's ever been scared of a turn of throttle. Where are you located? I've watched your videos for a long time now, and I always thought you were overseas. Yeah, I get that a lot. People think I'm overseas, but I'm in Oregon. Merry Christmas, Toby, to you and your family. Mick from Australia. Merry Christmas to you and your family as well. Hope your health is in good order, my friend. Anyways, I have a 1982 Yamaha IT 465, and parts are kind of hard to come by in my state. My question would be, is there any parts from other bikes I can Frankenstein to work on the 465? Thanks for all the great content. Merry Christmas from mountains of North Carolina. I mean, the short answer is yes. I mean, I Frankenstein stuff all. I mean, my KTM, I had to Frankenstein ton of shit to get to work. So the short answer will be yes. I would just look at, I'm not sure what parts. I mean, every part will be different. So it just depends on what part you're looking for. You know, I mean, sometimes things are more standard. You know, I mean, bearings are all standard. You can call up any bearing shop and get the bearings. So that shouldn't be any big deal. So it really depends on what you're looking for. You know, like if you're looking for a certain cable, I mean, if you're having a problem with throttle cable, for example, and you can't find, you know, this particular cable goes into this particular thing, you can always buy a new throttle cable casing from a different bike. It should just work. So yeah, it really depends on what part you're looking for. You can always make something work. Like there's people who will make seat covers, for example. The tricky part becomes frame stuff is a lot easier to rig because it's not like a critical piece to make your bike run. Like if you're looking for a new head, then yeah, I mean, you're not going to be able to jimmy rig, drill a couple extra holes in a KTM head and put it on, you know. So it really depends on what your parts you're looking for. You know, gears and stuff like that. Sometimes you can find the manufacturers, but they would have gears that look the same. So it's really depending on what you're looking for. Frame stuff, 100%, you can easily switch things around and get things to work. Yeah, especially if you know someone machine shop who can do a little machining of something here and there. You know, I mean, I put triple clamps from RM250 on the 660 Maicos frame. You know, these bikes over here have, triple clamps from a 87 CR125. So, depends on what it is. So yeah, even a sprocket, if you can get something that looks, at least it fits around it, you can even drill different holes in it to put it on. I mean, so it really depends on what the part is. But if you're asking if I have a list of those, I don't. I have no idea. We would have to go through and see the part you're looking for, what you need, and what we could get that would look similar, and how we could get something to work. What's your favorite movie? What's your favorite brand of tools? Favorite classic car? Favorite aircraft? Favorite movie? I would say Beyond the Law. Just like that movie. I like a lot of my favorite movies, but riding motorcycles, that would probably be my favorite movie.
Modest beginnings start with the single blow of a horn, man. Now, when you get through with this thing, every dickhead in the world's gonna want to own it. Do you know anything at all about the internal combustion engine?
Brand of tools? Don't really have one. I'll buy whatever. Craftsman or Husky, whatever. Favorite classic car? I don't know. I used to like Camaros, I guess. Yeah, a lot of them look kind of cool. GTOs, stuff like that. I mean, but I guess I don't really have a favorite one. Favorite aircraft? Yeah, I definitely don't have a favorite aircraft. So why does your nose constantly run, or why do you never blow the damn thing? Still like the channel. I'm a grossed out listening to you sniffle nonstop. Well, for one, my nose is clear, so there's nothing to blow out. So even if I did, I'd still have a sniffles. It wouldn't matter. You know, I have anemia. You know, I have a low red blood cell count, and so I do have somewhat of a lower immune system because of kidney failure. So that's why. Nothing I can really do about it. Wish you'd dyno any of your big bores, 600cc plus, especially 700. I don't care to. And a couple of reasons for that. I mean, this Zabel, since I may have to get a pipe made for it, because that pipe I have, I don't think it's going to fit. I may end up dynoing it just because of that. But yeah, mostly I don't dyno my bikes and don't really care to. And part of the issue is that nobody, first of all, believes any dyno they see on the internet. Because people, you know, don't know how the bike, because you can pretty much make a dyno read anything you want, you know. So they're like, ask tons of questions about it. In fact, I posted a dyno the other day from the manufacturer. In fact, I'll make another video on that sometime. But I posted a video of the manufacturer of the dyno of the 2000. Well, it was back in 1998 when they were developing the 1999 engine, which is the same as today's Maicos and the 2005 Maicos I have. And they're flipping out. You know, I mean, if you show a dyno of anything other than a CR500 or KX500, first of all, they'll take that as a face value. And people all the time quote Johnny Letty's video of his CR550 that has 90 horsepower at like 9,000 RPM. You know, they'll quote that, you know, as a CR500. But then you show that bike, they're showing, you know, 65 horsepower, and they don't believe it. And they had to email people, is this real? And I mean, it was ridiculous. People were idiots, you know. So too many idiots out there, you know. So that's one reason I don't dyno it. And again, if I went to dyno it, I would have to, you know, take a CR500 with me just so that they'd be on the same dyno, because everyone would compare it against some unrealistic, ridiculous numbers. And so if I took a CR500 with me, and then even then, let's say they were even if they were the same, people still wouldn't believe that the Maicos would be the same. And they would be like, oh, the CR500's, you know, broken or something, you know. So it's just stupid, you know. People are just idiots. They don't even understand, you know, that the horsepower isn't constant, because people will be like, oh, your CR500 makes, you know, 55 horsepower, you know. And they're like, oh, well, wow, my 125 makes 40, you know, so it's so close, you know, or 48, you know, whatever, you know. It's just like they don't understand that, you know, the difference is where it makes that horsepower and how far it goes, because if 125 will rub to 13,000 some RPM, you know, where like a Maicos 700, you know, it's barely going to get, you know, to 7 or 8, you know. So, and the power is going to be like 6,000, you know, very low, you know, and very low in the RPM range. And in fact, at like, you know, 3,000 RPM just off idle, it's probably going to make, you know, almost as much as that bike makes at 13,000 or, you know, or so. And then I understand that those bikes have zero low end, and they just shoot up once they get to the high end, because most of their power comes from the rotation and how fast they rotate, rather than just the raw torque of the engine at low RPM. Because for a bike to make a lot of torque at low RPM, you know, or for to make a lot of horsepower at low RPM, that means it's got a lot more torque, because it's not, you know, rotating as much. So since people don't understand that type of stuff, and I'm just trail riding this stuff, it doesn't really, you know, it's good enough for me the way I trail ride. It's not like I'm going to trail ride. I'm going to take on a dyno and see it makes, you know, 70 horsepower, and I'm going to be disappointed. It doesn't matter, you know. these bikes are all good enough for me. So whatever they're making, it's good enough. I don't really need to tune them. I mean, the 700 it doesn't even have a 700 pipe on it. It's got a 500 pipe on it. You know, if I wanted to tune that thing, I'd first have to get a real pipe for it. You know, but it's got so much damn power already. It's so ridiculous that it's just like, you know, for my trail ride, I don't need to get a ridiculous, you know, pipe done for it. So I haven't done it. So, but I do have a dyno sheet that I will share for the Maicos 500 and a story about it. You know, the Maicos 500, the new Maicos 500. You know, I'll make a new video on that and show those numbers. And tell you about, you know, who designed it and everything like that. And I even got pictures of the dyno. It wasn't an actual dyno, by the way. It was something else. It was just an engine, you know, on a setup. So, yeah, I have those to show you. Also, some pictures of the Maicos Supermoto team. Yep. So that's why I don't dyno these things. You know, maybe someday I'll change my mind. But the other thing is that the reason I don't dyno it is because I got to change tire. Yeah, a lot of times I don't take dirt bike tires, you know, or trials tires. So I have to switch tire. And I just don't feel like doing that much work. I don't care, like I said. And again, I'd do all that and send it out, and you know, we'd have the idiot gallery out there, you know, not believing. Even if I said this made 2 horsepower, you know, they'd be if I dyno disable, you know, and it came out as 2 horsepower, they still wouldn't believe it and say it's supposed to have 1. That's how stupid these idiots are. But anyhow, the disable may end up actually being dynoed anyways, because once I'm able to fix the shock issue, I'm probably going to see if I can have a pipe made. And typically, you know, they may dyno it as part of that. So we'll see. Do you think you ever buy another CR100? And is the 85 CR100 really the fastest of all the years they made? Yeah, I don't know what year's the fastest. As far as, you know, the hard hitting year was the 85. It doesn't mean it's the fastest. I mean, it could have new top end. I have no idea. But the years that everyone likes are from 85 to 87. I had an 86. I think the CR80, the 85 sounds the best. Would I get another one? Possibly, if I had more space. I would get another one. Would I get? Well, I would like to get 85 through 87. I mean, one of those. The 87 would be nice because it has disc brakes, but the 85 is the one that everyone always talks up, and it's the one that sounds cool. So I'd really like to get the 85. My only problem is those water pumps rot out. So yeah, I would get another one. I don't know if, but again, I would have to have enough space that, you know, I can still continue the Maicos collection as well. Of course, I'm nearing the end of all the Maicos that I need. There's just a few more out there. So, but yeah, if I had space, I'd get, you know, CR500, you know, get a CR480 even. Father is restoring a KTM 485. I wonder what kind of spark plug do you use for your own? So, what I used is the BR8 EIX Iridium plug. You can also use the B8ES. Typically, a lot of those bikes used to call for the B8 EGV, which I have one here. These are kind of unobtaining. And the EGV is closest to the Iridium plug. So I'll come over to the camera and you can take a look at it. So, yeah. I use the BR8 EAX, the Iridium plugs. But you can also use BATS or BRATS. I usually carry a bunch of these, even these, sometimes I'll carry even these EADS ones for spares, since they're cheap. The B8 EGVs is kind of the original ones that people used to run on these bikes. This is a brand new one here. Unused, I've got a couple of them that I got. But this is old packaging, this is competition racing on it. But yeah, these are unobtainium. You can't get these anymore. Very hard to find. I think that when this bike here was sent to me, I got a box full of them. But I haven't used any of them. I always use the Iridium plugs. So will you get a BRC 500 big bore KTM kit? If not, why not? I enjoy the videos. So I thought about it, but decided against it. I didn't really seriously consider it, But the thing that surprised me, is that everybody's constantly like, oh, I wish Honda would still make a CR500. Like, Maicos making a 500, you can get a 500 two-stroke right now. And then like, oh my God, we've got this new BRC kit 500. I'm like, you can get a brand new Maicos 500 right now. There's no reason to get this kit. You're paying $8,000 for that kit, so it's still, almost on par. And plus, you gotta get on a KTM, you gotta build everything. It's almost on par with just going out and buying a Maicos 500 from Germany. So my thought of this, even when Panera or whatever, they came out with their 500 or 620 or whatever. My thought was that these are unproven engines, right? People are always like, how many championships that bike win? Oh, those bikes have won none, and the BRC has won none. So that's always a big deal to people. And second thing is, they always wonder, with the Maicos is, they can't get parts anywhere. So you're going to go off and buy this one-off bike, and you're so excited about this one-off thing, this one little small rinky-dink company's making, that there are no parts for. And you're going to do that. It's ridiculous. I could not understand why people were hyped it up so much. Yet there's already been Maicos. And the Maico, 500 has been proven, for, it's basically the 86, just with some improvements, the 86 Maicos. So it's been proven to be a reliable bike, for 30 some years. A lot of people have them, and there's been no issues with them. But they're going to get some unproven bike. It's utterly ridiculous. Something I think people just have something completely against Maico for some reason, that they're going to hype up these pieces of junk. But anyhow, that's my little rant on that. So, no, I would go out and get a Maico 500. Before I buy that. Does your wife think of your collection? I only have 5 bikes and has caused some disagreements. All right, so someone asked me, what do you think of all these bikes? So, what do you think of all these bikes?
What bike?
There's just so many of them, and it's cool that you can put them back together, and rather than just sending them to a shop. And I'm glad that it makes you happy. There's just so many bikes.
Okay, which bike do you like the best?
The one I found for you, the blue 440, just because I feel like kudos are definitely due. I will, yes, the blue 440, because I will always remember that we went and picked it out together and stuff like that.
That was her response. I just asked her, caught her off guard. That's why she's not on camera. And I don't know, she said she couldn't think of anything. She didn't know she was going to be on the camera, so she couldn't think of anything funny to say, I guess. But for the most part, she really doesn't mind that much. I mean, she knows I don't have much space. One issue, but mostly she doesn't really mind that much. In fact, she's actually even encouraged me. In fact, I wouldn't have bought the 700, because I was actually not going to buy it. I was like, I'm going to go through and buy it. And then she just kind of encouraged me to buy it. Same with the 440. I wasn't going to buy it. I was like, it's only a 440. And she encouraged me to buy it. So the other day I was looking at one. And I was like, I'm not sure I'm going to buy this one or take a look at it. Or you should just email the guy about it. So I didn't buy that one. But so she does encourage it a bit. Even though, I do have a lot. Now, if I say I was going to go buy a Honda CR500 or something like that, then she would be like, "Why would you buy that? It's not a Maicos. Why would you buy that?" So, yeah. So my only real issue ends up just being able to get into the garage and work on them and ride them. The time to do that is something that's just hard to get.